Looks like I'm in trouble again. I could never win.
People that write in a style that I find really interesting, that are really honest, a song that draws you in and that makes you feel like they're talking to you, and that it makes you feel like you're a friend or someone that they're confiding in you, and they can, but the whole world gets to hear the song. And so people like Joni Mitchell, Randy Newman, Harry Nilsson, probably three of my favourite, George Harrison. We had every Beatles album, and I studied the Beatles like intensely when I was growing up. That's all I listened to. Even like Townes Van Zandt and Christopherson, and even Hank Williams. Just
Jackson Brown.
Love Jackson Brown. Yeah, he's another one I put in that category, definitely. Well, I found stuff like free downloads online. In a way, it's a great compliment. Look, the technology and the things are out there, but really when it comes down to it, having a kind of global online presence is kind of a good thing, even if it doesn't make it. Gone are the days that radio is the only way that people would find your music, because there's just too many or too few gatekeepers when it comes to that, and it's very much about big business. And I don't do it to make lots and lots of money. I do it to survive, and
the love of it.
And the love of it, yeah. And I have survived as a full-time musician for 15 years now. And sometimes I take it easy and I don't make as much money, and then other times I work really hard and I'm exhausted, and it's like everyone, Yeah, I'm proud of that title. I think I've always done things my own way, and when I started touring there wasn't many people doing it the way that I do it. Now there's a few, still not many, because the reality of it is it's brutal and it's really tough. And travelling, setting up in a pub and playing, and I've always liked doing that. I always saw it as like, it's kind of like being in the trenches of cultural warfare in a way, and it's sort of me against the TV screen and mainstream media. But I feel like the path that I've made available to other musicians to follow, and they have, and they do, and music is getting out there, and it doesn't have to be about Music Max or Triple J or anything. You can actually I have a really very loyal following of people that will come and see my shows and buy the music, and I know most of them. I've got to know them, but and they spread the word, and there is music, I believe, is about a community, and that's what I've always wanted to do with it, and it's worked. It's got me this far. That's my next phase. I'm actually backing out my touring, backing off on my touring, and I'm actually booking a few venues, and I'm trying to establish a little run of shows that I can showcase singer-songwriters, because I know some great people, and basically help them do what I've been doing. I've also got a recording studio, and I have my own record label too, and so that's sort of my plan in the next 10 years, is just to back off the gigs, not do as many, just do nice gigs from now on, not have to do the slog and go and do... I'll still go and travel and play all over the place, but not quite as intensely as I have been. And my wish is that gives me a bit more time to work on this booking and promoting Shoalhaven singer-songwriters and South Coast singer-songwriters, and find the venues that can put them on. I've got the facilities to record them and help them basically just make local music. Well, everyone's got to work hard, and everyone's got to do stuff they don't like doing, especially if you're self-employed, and that's basically what my business is. And you just don't, you don't get a break, and you just got to keep going. And I think as long as I can stay inspired and keep making music that I'm happy with, that satisfies me and feels like I'm challenging myself and growing and learning and becoming better at what I do, then that's okay. Like I'm getting better at taking a break when I need to take a break, and just switching off, and
Yep.
that's really hard to do, especially when you wear so many hats now. It's like I've got to just, it's not, if it was just playing music that I had to do, it'd be easy, but
That's right.
I'm now sort of self-booking and self-managing, and got to do all the accounts and things, which is different to what I was doing 2 or 3 years ago. I had a manager and someone doing the books and someone doing the promotion, and now I have to allocate time and energy for that, which has changed my brain furniture a bit. My kids, spend lots of time, try and spend as much time with them as I can, and try to be really present and be there when I have them, which is tricky because I've got to travel for work still, so that's been really hard to balance. And I've hanging out with friends and my girlfriend, or spending time with her and going on adventures, and good food and good wine. I'm a big fan of good food and good wine. So I played solo for my first 6 albums, and I had bands that would come in the studio and play, like session players, who were good friends and amazing musicians. But I'd tour solo and play solo, and I'd come up with the songs on my own pretty much, and just hire people in. And I just started getting bored of it, particularly touring solo. I had this sound that, like, a lot of people were copying. And that, the stomp box and the amp and the second mic, and now lots of people are doing that. And so I just needed to change just because of the challenge, and I just put it out there to the universe to draw in some people that were actually a band rather than just session, like hired guns.
Exactly.
They would add their own thing to it, which is where the other colours comes in, because we all add our own colour and our own. Colour actually works on a frequency, same as light and sound, and a similar frequency. So the bass is like the blues, and the top end is like the red, infrared, and the green sits right in the middle of the spectrum. So that's like the vocals and guitar.
Brilliant.
Drums is like orange and red, and the bass is blue. And then a violin comes in, and then that's like in the mids, but it's higher than the mids, so it's up in the yellows, and then it all works. It all corresponds. You got 8 colours of the rainbow, 8 notes on a scale. Like it's the same stuff. It's just different energy.